Welcome geometry students to class today on December 4th. Hope you guys are ready for your test. If everybody's taken the test, I will try to have those graded and passed back to you by Thursday at the earliest, no later than Friday at the latest. Martin, I believe you were absent yesterday for part of the class period. I hope you finished that fill in the blank part of the test, and I hope you're ready for today's test. If there's any problem with you taking the test today, please contact me. Okay, at this point in time, you should have already turned your review sheets in. If not, you need to do that. Mr. Harmon was supposed to have already collected those. Number two, you should have a test in front of you. Let's go over the test. Notice no longer do I put the test on the screen. It dawned on me once it's out there on YouTube, it's out there in the open for students to see whether they're taking the test today or a later time. So I don't put the test on the screen anymore. Please look at numbers 1 through 3. You're going to tell me yes or no, it's a polygon. If you say yes it is, tell me what kind. Do you know what I mean by what kind? I mean, you can say triangle, quadrilateral, let's see, triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, okay? That's what I'm looking for. Now, if it's not a polygon, then you tell why it's not. But if it is, you tell me the name. That would be either triangle or quadrilateral or pentagon or hexagon or heptagon or octagon, okay? Numbers 4 through 5, solve for x. You should know what all four angles inside a quadrilateral add up to, and so you should be able to write an equation for 4 and 5 and solve for x. Number 6, find the given figure is a parallelogram. Number 6, find the missing three angles. You should know how to do that. If you know one angle in a parallelogram, you can find the other three. Number 7, 8, and 9, tell whether the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. And by the way, that's numbers 7 through 11, so go ahead and look on the back of page 1. It's 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So what you put in your answer blanks is this. You say no, it's not a parallelogram, and you tell me why. Or you say yes, it is a parallelogram, and you tell me why. Remember, there were 5 ways to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, and so using those 5 ways, you're going to say yes or no to numbers 7 through 11, and then you're going to tell me why you put yes or no. Number 12, in quadrilateral EFGH, and by the way, I would go ahead and draw the quadrilateral. I would just draw a 4-sided figure like that, and I would label it EFGH, just like that. So feel free to draw it so you can get a picture of it. Angle E is 12, angle H is 12, angle F is 168. Is this a parallelogram? Say yes, tell me why. If you say no, tell me why. Now look at numbers 13 through 18. If you'll listen, I can explain this very well, but you're going to have to listen well. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer to number 13 because if you don't know how to do the rest, then it's not going to really help you a whole lot to have one answer. But the directions say for numbers 13 through 18, list each quadrilateral for which the statement is true. Now look at number 13. Number 13 says consecutive angles are supplementary. That means side-by-side angles. Well, that's true for a parallelogram, so you would put parallelogram in your real long blank there for number 13. That's true for a rectangle. Angles that are side by side in a rectangle do add up to one angle. It's true in a rhombus because a rhombus is a parallelogram, so it's true in a rhombus. And then it's also true in a square because a square is also a parallelogram, and so there we go. So for number 13, all 4 of those shapes have consecutive angles that are supplementary, okay? So what I'm trying to show you is some of these answers for 14 through 18 all the way down to number 18. You might have one answer, you might have 2, you might have 3, you might have 4, like number 14. Consecutive sides are perpendicular. Consecutive sides, that means 2 sides that touch each other, are perpendicular. Well, if that's true for a parallelogram, then write parallel. If it's true for a rectangle, write rectangle. If it's true for a rhombus, then write rhombus. If it's true for a square, then write square. Okay? But that's how you do numbers 13 through 18. Now, numbers 19 and 20. Please listen carefully to numbers 19 and 20. They are both rectangles. They are both They are both trapezoids. They are both trapezoids. Okay? And you should be able to find the measure of angles A, C, and D for number 19, given one angle. Angle B is 110 degrees. And number 20, I've given you 2 angles. You should be able to find the other 2 angles up top, angles A and B. Okay, they are both trapezoids. And then moving on and taking a look now at numbers 21 and 22. Those are called mid-segments, okay? Those lines, when you have a trapezoid drawn like this, and you have that line going across the middle, that line right here, this line right here is called a mid-segment, okay? And so for 21, find the value of x. I gave you a formula for that, okay? And then number 22, find the value of x, okay? And then numbers 23, 24, and 25, determine whether the quadrilateral is a trapezoid or isosceles trapezoid or a parallelogram or a rectangle or a rhombus or a square, okay? And they could be more than one, so that's fine too. So that's numbers 23, 24, and 25. I've rambled long enough. I want you to get started on the test. You have to finish it during first hour. So it's definitely easy to do. If you know what you're doing, you can whip through this thing in about 25, 30, 35 minutes, okay? So go ahead and get started. I hope you guys have a good day today. Hope you do well on the test. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow on Thursday.